everyone. Happy Friday. It's been a while since I've been on live stream again. How's it going, everyone? Let me know if my audio is coming in clear. We got a lot of things to talk about. Muted myself. We got a lot of things to talk about post-shareholder meeting. Thanks for sticking with me, folks. I see a lot of familiar folks in the chat. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. City, state, country. Tesla down, what is that? 6.64% the day after shareholder meeting. I think actually S-Trade puts it the best way. It's a typical sell the news event. It often is with Tesla, even looking back towards something as monumental as Battery Day. The day after events are always the traders that have been buying in the last couple of weeks for the aforementioned meeting. The mic is put off. Okay, thanks, Digital. The people that have been buying for this meeting coming up are now selling the boat. Well, not really. I mean, volume today is about average. I'm going to change this to the 1 minute. We got a lot of things to cover today. So we'll go through the options order flow, I think, first, just so we can get a general gauge of where options momentum is, especially heading into until next week. We'll get an idea of, by the way, I do think it's funny that the gain is too high on the mic. Okay, let me turn it down a little bit. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. I'll talk a little bit less loud. But another thing I find kind of funny is last Friday we were sitting here talking about 900 and we were excited about that, and now we're about $40 give or take away from there, and yet it's a big difference. So what a difference a week makes. But we're going to talk about the split. We're going to talk about what comes out of the shareholder meeting. We're going to talk about Cramer's glowing recommendations of Elon Musk today. So, okay, let me read some city, state, countries out. Sydney, Australia. Mark says my Juju's lemonade. I got the Juju here on deck. I think today we probably need it. Ohio, Farsland, Norway, Sydney, 5 a.m. in Sydney. Coffee time. There we go. Johannesburg. I just had a coffee, actually. Sweden. Hopefully my mic's okay now. I'm reading the old chats. Gigafactory in Canada. Yes, Stephen, we'll talk about that as well. Richard, how's it going? Hot in hot Mississauga. Julio. Yeah, it's hot in Canada nowadays. Abe, I'll try to answer this after the 2 million question. Nova Scotia, Sweden, Salt Lake City, Utah. By the way, if you're watching on replay, throw it in the comment section as well. I always read all the comments after. Bellina, Australia. Paul, how's it going, my friend? Netherlands, investing Instagram. Nick, shout out to you. How's it going? Great timing during the layover. Oh, you're coming back to Florida from Austin, I take it. Let us know how the event was. France, Germany, Sweden, Austria, South Africa. Awesome. Malibu, Sweden. Nanaimo, local. There we go. Okay. The mic is good now, right? Like I'm going to keep it down a little bit, but the mic is okay now, right? Just confirming. I was fiddling with some settings before this. Of course. India. Amit, how's it going, my friend? Montreal, Sweden. Awesome. Mic is fine. Okay, great. Thank you, Mike. Sounds great. Okay, perfect. So let's go through our pieces of news, but first let's go through some price action. Essentially, if we change this to a 5 minute for the day, we saw some rallying after the initial dip this morning, but just a continual sell-off after. I saw some rumors on Twitter today, people saying, oh, Elon is selling, blah, blah, blah. I don't think so. I don't think Elon is selling. Volume is not high enough for that, albeit it is higher than average today. It doesn't feel like it's insider trading today. Today to me feels like it is traders that have been buying in the last couple of weeks that are exiting their positions. On top of that, if we look at the options order flow, pull that up here on my screen. This is the options order flow for Tesla. Now, again, the way to read this, if you don't know, and I'll move my fat head to the left side, the way to read this is the red line is puts. So red line going up is put buying, opposite put selling, green line for calls. And you can see in the morning, essentially, we had some chop, but essentially from an hour into the open today, we saw a tremendous amount of put buying happening. And also a lot of people with calls starting to sell off, which is essentially fair game. If you were playing the shareholder meeting in terms of a trader, yeah, not a trader, then you would probably want to sell your premium on the call side after you saw the initial pop up in Tesla back to over like 910 for the day. But what's interesting is going into next week, we're not seeing a lot of call action buying or selling, but we're seeing some accumulation of puts happening into close. So it's going to be interesting to see in the next 45, 55 minutes here, what happens with that. So 860 sitting on Tesla, and I think that is close to low of, yeah, that is low of day. 860.29 is low of day, so we're essentially sitting on that right now. Benjamin says on Patreon, are you talking about where we talked about that? Yes, I think it was on, so it might have been yesterday on our Patreon or our Discord live call that we did. Okay, Shop, I appreciate that. Thank you. So yes, I don't think Elon is selling today. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think Elon is selling? Here, let me ask you guys in the chat. Do you think Elon is selling? Yes or no? Throw it in the chat. Let's see what everyone thinks here. I don't think so. Especially after what he said yesterday with, dips are a buying opportunity. It just wouldn't add up. So I don't know where that rumor really came from, but it seems like people are running with that rumor. So we'll see. No. Harry says absolutely not. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are kind of in line with my thinking too. Okay. Awesome. Great. So I guess we're on the same page there. So that's that. But let's talk about actual stuff that matters. Let's be honest. And that is the shareholder meeting and what came out of that. So let me share my screen with Chrome and let's go through some of the things. So first thing, the Tesla authorized share count increase was approved yesterday. There's some mix up with this. I see a lot of people saying, and by the way, this is more of a technicality than anything else, but I see a lot of people saying, the 3-to-1 stock split is approved. Remember, shareholders weren't really voting for the 3-to-1 stock split. What we were voting for was the authorization to increase the outstanding share count by 4 billion for the purposes of a 3-to-1. But if you read the line, it was not for the split in and of itself. Remember, that's a board of directors decision. So anyways, technicality, who really cares? But we'll know the exact date of the split in the 8K, which is to be filed in the next 4 days. Remember, Tesla has 4 business days, so that gets us to next Wednesday, essentially. That Tesla has to file their report of what's happened in writing with all the minutes of the shareholder meeting for everyone. And in that 8K is my guess where we actually get the date of the stock split itself. I see some discussion online with people saying, look, it's possible that we don't even get the exact date of the split and they save it towards the end of the year. I mean, I guess it's possible, but it just doesn't make sense to me that if Tesla was increasing the share count for that purpose, that in that 8K that came out, that's still yet to come out, that they wouldn't announce a date. But my bet is the stock split price trading starts either the 29th of August or September the 5th. I see some guesses with people saying, look, it's going to be the week before this, so the 22nd. I just think it's a little bit sudden. Remember, there's going to be an effective date of the stock split. Then there's going to be the date the split actually happens, and that's usually it's going to be a Friday. And then the Monday is when it's going to start trading split adjusted. There's kind of 3 dates to look at here. The one that we mostly care about is what date does Tesla start trading at the stock split actual price. Right? So we'll see. But the 8K, look out for that. It actually might even come on after hours today. Maybe I'll stick around for 5 minutes after hours extra longer and just see maybe that comes out. I mean, it's entirely possible that it comes out. Maybe they want to spend the weekend to start looking at potential, maybe they want to spend the weekend actually digesting everything before they release it on the Monday or something. Who knows? They have 4 business days to do it from yesterday. So there's that. Okay. Another piece of news out of Tesla China today, sticking away from the shareholder meeting for just a hot second. Meier tweeting, Tesla China is offering a 50% discount on FSD if you upgrade your car. In addition to that 50% discount, Tesla China also offering the following with their loyalty offer. 15,000 kilometer free supercharging. That's massive. That's like, for me, that's like 2 years worth of supercharging, and then free home supercharging valued at $1,100 or $1,200. So this is the big question, right? Tesla discounting FSD 50% in China. Well, if you follow Troy Tesla, shout out to you, Troy, you kind of read the tea leaves a lot with FSD take rate in China and how abysmal it was. FSD is not doing too hot in China. Maybe this is just a way to promote it, to get more data in that respect. And that's the way I kind of look at this, is if Tesla, like the only reason I see Tesla to start doing this is, so first is you upgrade your car. So you give in your current car to Tesla, and then you buy another Tesla from them. But a 50% discount is pretty massive off of FSD. Perhaps they need more data miles coming in. Who knows? But it seems like Tesla is making more of a directed effort towards the FSD coming out in China, which, I mean, is interesting to say the least. If that happened in North America, I think a lot of people would start taking Tesla up on this offer. Okay, so there's that. Gary Black also tweeting today about the 10-year yield rising up 15 basis points to 2.84%. It's a problem today. Plus, Tesla day traders who sell in the news happens every event. I look back on like something like Battery Day. If you remember Battery Day, it's been so long. I look something like Battery Day even as something, it was monumental for Tesla, and it will be monumental for Tesla's history moving forward. But the next day, I think we were down like 5% or something. So anyone remember Battery Day and the trading the day after, and how, everyone was so shocked that Tesla was down the day after Battery Day after all that they announced. And I just found that funny as well. It kind of, not that yesterday was equivalent to Battery Day. So I guess we'll see. Anyone going to AI Day 2? Throw in the chat if anyone plans on going to AI Day 2 in the chat. So that's going to be in September, end of September, in, of course, Austin, Texas. Anyone planning to go to that? I'm debating it at this point now, more than I was debating going to the shareholder meeting, that's for sure. But I'm not sure how invites work to that. I think it'd be a fun time to go. AI Day 2 will be epic. So we'll see. Okay. Invest in Nick. It's your honeymoon. Congrats to you. Did the wedding already happen, or I guess it's happening in the next couple months here? Congrats to you, my friend. Okay. Oh, Xander says I thought only people in the industry can come to AI Day. Makes sense. Makes sense. I have no idea how invites work to these events. Okay, another thing about the bill. Gary By tweeting that Cinema, I'll call it that, will vote yes on the Schumer-Manchin Inflation Reduction Act with a $7,500 EV credit when the revised bill hits the Senate floor on Saturday. Bill likely to be reworded to make it easier for EV manufacturers to qualify on US-made batteries. He goes on to say, I highly doubt that the $4,500 EV union bonus will find its way back into the bill. It's too much of a lightning rod, and I think Senator Manchin would oppose it, targeting a Senate vote tomorrow. So it seems like essentially everything is pretty much in the bag here with the EV credits. Let me know in the comments what you feel like with regards to the EV credits. I know they're a hot topic, and a lot of people don't get why they're happening. But I guess we'll see what happens with that. The funny thing with the EV credits, and Elon said it himself, is that the EV credits in and of itself, if there was no EV credits, Tesla would be at more of an advantage than if there were EV credits. EV credits are something that Legacy Auto needs to start making their unit economics work. Meanwhile, Tesla doesn't need any of that. So there's that. Thank you, John, and thank you, Charlie, by the way, for renewing your membership on YouTube. Appreciate that. Cancel it. Okay, we'll see. So 860.49 sitting on Tesla at the moment. Let's watch Jim Cramer sing glowing praise of Elon Musk.
Jim, the line is most of our commodities, the things that go into a Tesla, not all, but more than half the prices are trending down. Now, this could change, but the trend is down, which suggests that we are past peak.
I'm all in Musk. I think that he sees it better than anyone. Look, he's a huge manufacturer, one of the greatest manufacturers, maybe the greatest manufacturer of our lifetime. And but he also is very close to customers because of their unusual direct to sell. And I think he's just spot on. That's what's going to happen. That's going to come true. And boy, does he ever have a handle on the commodities. So, yeah, I am all in on what he said. I think he's going to be proven exactly right. He is that. He's smarter than he may be smarter than almost anybody except for Jensen Huang at NVIDIA.
Sorry, my mic was muted there. Sorry, but I was just saying, is that bullish or bearish? If Jim Cramer is all in, full in on Elon Musk, is that bullish or bearish? I see Julio said it's kind of the kiss of death. I mean, let me know what you guys think.
Right. How would you?
And by the way, you know, Elon Cramer is saying that Elon has this unique ability and insight into the supply chain. It couldn't be any more true. Like, think about all the supply chains that Elon has insight into space, obviously SpaceX. I mean, Tesla, Boring, his friends on Wall Street. Like, Elon has, and especially yesterday when he was procrastinating a little bit about the macro markets at the shareholder meeting. You know, we were talking on Discord about that when it was happening. I was like, this guy Elon has the best voices in his ear. The people that you would pay millions of dollars for money for investing advice, I should say. He has them in his ear. So when he says something, it's not like it's only coming from his opinion, right? You guys are saying it's the kiss of death. bearish. BD says all in on Musk sounds like a great t-shirt opportunity. Oh, maybe.
Would you characterize how the market's absorbing then the jobs number?
Well, I said this week that if we had a red hot number, and when I did my game plan on Monday, I said we're going to repeal a pretty decent amount of the July rally. And I think that there's so many people who are fearful that they will take profits. And it could be thin trading too.
Yeah, on top of that, the B of A desk this morning suggested that the squeeze we've seen for consumer names especially,
yes,
the biggest squeeze in a couple of years, signs that it is starting to ease off. You saw it in the latter part of yesterday's action.
Look, obviously I don't want it, but I do think that we've had a dramatic decline in a lot of commodities, but that was predicated upon the economy kind of cooling off. Watch oil. Oil might be the tell, because oil has been my reason to be optimistic about the rest of the market. Remember, when oil goes down, almost everything is going up. If oil comes back and oil's still nicely down, then I think we're going to see a real repeal. But right now, the commodities are not.
I mean, that's kind of chicken genius Ken's theory, right? If oil's going up, obviously we're going to hit a recession, he says. If we're going to hit a recession, everything's going to go kaput. So that's kind of his theory 101, right?
The commodities are not acting the way I thought they would. I mean, I thought that the commodities would spike on this. I mean, we've got copper up slightly. We have lumber banging out the future.
What a classic.
Focus just on employment. Yes. Remember, he's got Berlin, he's got China, he's got parts of America, he's got direct sale data that he gets every day. He knows what he can build and what he can't build. His call, I think, is perfect.
We're going to talk a lot more about their meeting, the split.
The Twitter Rye post about him does not make him out to be a gentleman and a scholar. The one that came out last night was basically saying that he's a pack of lies.
Yes, and he would argue backward that their own metrics are deceiving as well.
This one was I thought it was killer. I thought it was dispositive, and I really felt that, all right, Elon Musk, you're also going to own Twitter. And how will that be in terms of figuring out the economy?
All right, 859 sitting on Tesla at the moment. Let's just pull up Webull here. New low of day just set in 859.27. Low of day is 858.62 at the moment. It seems like we're going to continue to close continue to fall into the close. If you look at the Nasdaq is down 1.14%. So with a beta of 2, generously, Tesla should only be down, 2.5%, maybe 3% if you're pushing it. So Tesla down 7%. There's about a chasm there, a delta of about 5% unaccounted for. So that 5% and volume is about 32.42 million. Remember, if you look at Tesla's trading in the last couple of weeks, I mean, Tesla is still up from July 13th. Tesla is still up. Let me just do the math here. Tesla's still sitting at 858 right now. From July 13th, Tesla is still up in the last 17 trading days, 27%. 27%. So I reckon this is not insider selling, my guess. I think this is just traders exiting positions after a big Tesla event, kind of as expected. So I guess we'll see until close if any of this gets bought up. We still have 40 minutes. Anything can kind of happen here. But, I mean, we'll see. At least, we talked about, is Elon selling or insider selling? I don't think so. That's not my guess. I mean, Kimball, right? For example, Kimball just exercised his shares. and then I think kept them after exercising, and then he tweeted out saying Tesla's future is very bright, blah blah blah. So would he be selling? I mean, I don't think so. After his comments yesterday, Elon said specifically like, oh, dips are buying opportunities. Elon said that kind of explicitly. So, I don't think this is insiders selling per se. I think this is mostly trading volume coming in, selling post shareholder event. So we'll see. But what we'll do is we'll keep an eye on what we do every Friday, and that's our Tradie Ticks options order flow, and we'll keep an eye on that as options orders come in. We'll keep an eye and we'll see where we might be headed in towards next week. One thing I did find interesting, I was looking at this before I went on. Implied volatility fell a lot, which I guess makes sense to a degree. A big event just happened. But implied volatility rank just went from about 90 to about 60, or from about 64 to about 6. Sorry, I'm reading this wrong. 64 to about 26 IV rank. Getting confused with the two y-axes there. So implied volatility rank fell a lot if you're out of the money in terms of anything. If you look at the daily heat maps, though, essentially what we saw today, and I'll scroll up here, is a large amount of 900 strikes being sold, 6.1 million worth, and 870 strikes being sold. Some of that being rolled into next week for 870. Some of it, if you have $17 million worth of premium being sold for this week, only about half of that, about 8 million being rolled into next week at 870. So we'll keep an eye on that as we continue to move forward here. 857 sitting on Tesla. Yeah, okay, so that was another interesting comment from Elon yesterday, that to get they plan to have about 10 to 12 gigafactories to hit their goals eventually in the next 10 to 15 years. Elon also hinted, by the way, that there might be a gigafactory announcement towards the end of this year. And someone yelled out about Canada. You guys know I've been a shill for a Canadian gigafactory for a long time. I've tweeted out about it. Elon kind of hinted at it. He could have just been super awkward with someone yelling Canada at him, and he didn't really know what to say. So, I'm not going to read into it too much, but he kind of hinted at it. Farzad, how's it going, my friend? Happy Friday to you. So, I don't know if Elon was serious too much about the Canadian Gigafactory comment, but I guess we'll see. We only have like 4 months left to the end of the year, so maybe we start getting some news in the next couple of months here. Ian Rogers says, Motley Fool says, because building factories enough for 20 million cars a year will use up a lot of cash. What do you think? So I don't think Tesla needs to raise cash anytime soon, if that's what they're implying. Tesla has $18 billion of cash equivalents. They're free cash flow positive, and they will continually be so, accelerating wise. There's a couple of nice charts that we got yesterday out of the shareholder meeting as well. I'm gonna try to find it here. DJ, shout out to you. Posted them on our Discord last night. So there's that, but I don't think Tesla will need to raise money. In fact, Elon even said specifically yesterday, look, I think we'll probably have to talk about buyback soon enough. He said they're on the table. So maybe he says paying for the factories won't be a problem. Ramping and providing batteries will be the challenge. Batteries will always be the limiting constraint for Tesla. It was chips in the short term, but you're right. But Elon, Drew Baglino on the earnings call, said long term is kind of where we're keeping our eyes on. Short term, like, we're still fine. Let's see here. So this is the link here that I wanted to copy into Chrome. Let's take a look at this one. Where is my Where's my screen here? Hold on. Okay, let's pull that up. I wanted to show y'all this this free cash flow chart here. Okay, let's transition over. Pull that up. All right. So this was a slide shared yesterday at the shareholder meeting. Strong free cash flow generation. So on the bottom right, if you can't read it, if it's too small, I'll read it out. $7 billion of free cash flow in the last 4 quarters for Tesla. In 2021, fiscal year 2021, about $5 billion of free cash flow, up from just under $3 billion in 2020, up from just over $1 billion in free cash flow in 2019. So you can see kind of the trajectory that this is going. So I don't think Tesla will need to worry about capital raising. It's not about money, it's about human capital. I think Elon's kind of said so much. So we'll see. 860 sitting on Tesla. We'll play our Tesla closing price guessing game in about 20 minutes. Not at the moment. Ganeshan says, what happens if S&P, Moody, Finch downgrades China and Russia? Will investments flow into the U.S. markets? I mean, good question. I don't think anything new has kind of snuck up on them in the last couple of months that they didn't necessarily know about. What I'm mostly looking forward to from S&P and Moody specifically is a Tesla investment upgrade, which I still think happens sometime this month. That's my guess. If it doesn't happen this month, I think we still get a note from them why it hasn't happened. We typically hear from them a couple times a year, and I think it's kind of due. So we'll see. Harry says, no buybacks, focus on growth. Well, Elon said, look, we're going to have so much free cash flow that even after we've spent, he said, we're spending so much money right now that if we spent any more, it would just be frivolous spending. He said, but he literally said that. So, and yet Tesla is still banking cash, right? So, and will continue to do so towards the end of this year as, you know, they get through the factory shutdown. So if Elon's saying like, look, we're spending as much as we possibly can, and yet they're still racking up their balance sheet, the question is, what are they going to do in 18 months time with all that cash? Right now, you know, Elon's saying like, look, we still want to save up, have like this big war chest, and it makes sense, you know, with all the force majeures that are happening. But yeah. Question about the stock split. Answered that in the beginning of the stream. You can rewind probably in the first 5 minutes of the stream. I answered that. But probably by end of this month. We'll find out in the next couple of days. Yeah, that's true. I'm a little curious on Elon's cyber, I think you mean Cybertruck comments. He avoided talking on FSD locked in pricing they had advertised, which I think last was 10K before the price lock wasn't advertised anymore. Yeah, the Cybertruck comments weren't awesome. 860.93 sitting on Tesla, by the way. The Cybertruck comments weren't great. Elon essentially saying like, look, anyone that's reserved, like, look, there's no way we can fulfill those prices, which, I mean, the writing was on the wall. I think everyone kind of knew that, but it kind of sucked because I know a lot of people that were banking on those prices sticking. But you talk about negative headline, the day that Tesla is going to have to come out and say like, look, we're going to have to, well, maybe what they can do is throw in FSD for free or something to offset the price increase. Like, I don't know what they could do to massage their way for customers to still be happy with it. But yeah, it sucks, but the writing was kind of on the wall with that. So yeah, but you know, that being said, we did get an update on the Cybertruck in the sense where Elon says volume production happening next year, middle of next year. So there's that. Avenge says, think 1500 October too greedy. Well, 1500 by October, yeah, I think that's kind of aggressive. That's like a doubling of the stock by then. Well, a little bit less than doubling, of course. But yeah, I think it's a little bit aggressive. My expectation is, let's say if Tesla says on Monday, we're splitting end of the month. That's about 2 weeks, 3 weeks until they split. If the Amazon stock split was any indication, in the last couple weeks before the Amazon stock split actually happened, Amazon saw a lot of buying. But as it is with stock splits, often with stock splits, the minute that they trade split adjusted, we see a lot of selling. So I'm expecting post stock split there to be some weakness, because it only makes sense. And if you look at Apple's stock split last year or 2 years ago, if you look at Tesla was 2 years ago. If you look at Amazon, Google this year, it kind of seems like that's probably going to happen. So, well, yeah, I mean, Lucid was just a crazy story. Lucid coming out and essentially only producing 6.5 cars a day. I mean, or 7.5 cars a day. I mean, that goes to show you how hard it is for production. Like, it's not even to hate on Lucid or anything like that. It just goes to show how hard it is to actually do anything at volume production. So it's, I don't know how Lucid's going to survive per se with that, but we'll see. Let's play this YouTube video from Phil
Comments
LeBeau.
from Elon Musk at yesterday's Tesla shareholder meeting. Phil LeBeau joins us now with more. Got to be flexible, Phil. Flexible.
You do have to be flexible.
Thank you.
You do. I'll leave you guys to discuss geopolitical situations. I want to focus on Tesla because if you were watching the annual meeting last night and you were a Tesla investor, there was plenty to be optimistic about. Among the highlights from what Elon
Phil LeBeau coming out with the bullish remarks.
Musk talked about over the course of about 45 minutes after they got through with the business of Tesla, what these annual meetings are all about. They're planning to name a new Gigafactory site likely by the end of this year. A Cybertruck production, they're going to start putting the tooling in the next couple of months. They expect production by the middle of next year. And total sales in 10 years, think about this. Elon Musk says they will hit 100 million vehicles, at least.
Okay, that was another one that, and actually, I'll show my spreadsheet after this with the 100 million in the fleet. But was anyone else surprised at the 100 million comment?
That's what he believes is possible. As for the economy, here's what Musk has to say about the possibility of a recession.
We will have a recession. I think it will be a relatively mild recession, sort of, but I'm just guessing here. This is total speculation. But I would guess it's a mild recession for, I don't know, 18 months or something like that. It would be my best guess right now.
By the way, I just have to say, I find it very funny that, like, CNBC is now hinging on the macro market comments from Elon. Like, that's where we are at this point where, like, everyone is so unsure of this economy, of this macro market, that we're basically like, yeah, like, what does Elon have to say about macro markets?
Just take a look at shares of Tesla. A couple other notes from the meeting. Elon Musk did say that he has no intentions of leaving Tesla at this point. And in terms of Tesla's succession plan down the road, they didn't.
Shout out to Gary Black for that question, by the way. I thought it was a great one.
He didn't get into specifics, but here's what he had to say.
We do have a very talented team here, so I think Tesla, would continue to do very well, even if I was kidnapped by aliens. or went back to my home planet, maybe.
Oh, that was just for you, Joe. Anytime you can bring an alien discussion into an annual meeting, you got to love it. As you take a look at shares of Tesla versus the S&P 500, one other note for Tesla investors, Elon Musk says a share buyback is possible at some point. Now, they've got to make sure, in his words, that the finances are in the right spot. But we have not seen a buyback from Tesla, so
No.
This would be significant that they do one at some point in the future. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, exactly. It's not imminent, by the way. It's not imminent by any means. But there was a lot of people saying a buyback is not on the table and it would never happen. So Elon himself says that, it is something that they think about, but at this point, it's not imminent, but it might be something that they do in the future. With the question about succession plan, the reason why I thought it was a great question is whether or not, I think Tesla's at the point where they've kind of passed, let's say, critical mass. The Model 3 is ramped. Yes, factories still have to ramp, and there's going to be 100 different challenges with those and all that sort of stuff. But they're at this point now where they just have to almost execute. Yes, there's going to have to be R&D. There's going to have to be new technology, and there will be. But at this point, it's just it's more of an execution story. That's kind of the way I look at it. So succession plan question makes sense because a lot of Wall Street investors, whether we like it or not, institutional investors think about that as a risk to Tesla stock. what happens if something happens to Elon? God forbid, right? It is something that Wall Street investor 860, by the way, sitting on Tesla. It is something that Wall Street investors think about. So I think in that respect, it was a great question because I think a lot of them wanted to hear what his thoughts were on that, and his thoughts essentially for clarification were, even if I disappeared tomorrow, Tesla would still succeed at doing its mission. So that's kind of where we are with that question. So I thought it was good, better than the PR question. Gary said himself. Julio says, yes, talk about the pros of a buyback. Well, the pros of a buyback essentially are, well, look at it inversely with raising capital. When you're raising capital, you're essentially diluting shareholders, right? That's the big problem with capital raises, is that you're diluting shareholders. And in the long haul, if you talk about NPV and net present value of a stock, you're essentially increasing what it is divisible by. So if you talk about buybacks, you are doing the opposite of that and therefore increasing the stock price. So that's kind of the thing, is that's why I think Apple has done so well. But the 100 million in the fleet question, let's talk about that. So if you guys know, I've made a video about my back of the napkin Tesla modeling. I was just doing some modeling after that. So 936,000 what Tesla delivered last year. With a 50% growth, they're expected to deliver 1.404, let's say, this year, with a 50% growth. So 100 million in the fleet by 2030, let's say end of 2030, so 2031, going into 2031. If Tesla continued a 50% growth rate per annum, which is, I mean, intense. By the way, I mean, around 2026, 2027, originally my model, I had 30% growth rate going forward. But for Tesla to start 2031, the year 2031, which for some reason seems so weird to say, but the year 2031, for Tesla to start the year with 107 million cars in their fleet, they would have to essentially do a 50% growth rate every single year. If Tesla slowed down, let's say in 2028, and let's say only did a 30% growth rate, and let's just bring that down, they would only be at 86 million. And actually, you know what I should do? One second. I'm just going to model out till 2030. I'm going to model out one more year. Let's model out one more year, and then let's add that in here because I want to see where we're going at. Okay, so 117 million. So, and by the way, this is 50%, 30%, 30%, 30%. So it's a little bit over, it's way over. So for Tesla actually to hit 100 million, let me just change, let's change this to 30% growth rate, and let's do that all the way down. Okay, so, and let's just change this for everyone watching at home so they can see. Probably should have just made it dynamic. So for Tesla to hit just over 100 million in the fleet by 2032, in 10 years from now, Tesla would have to sustain a 50% growth rate until 2026. And then in year 2027 and beyond, sustain a 30% growth rate in deliveries. Folks, like these are not easy numbers by any means. Like, you know, it's easy to put it into Excel and just kind of talk about it. Doing it is just a totally different story. But that's how we get to a little bit over 100 million in the fleet by 2032. 2032. I can't even, like, my brain doesn't even want to write 2032. That's how foreign it seems to me. So that's the way to kind of look at it. And by the way, what's the biggest takeaway for you guys on the 100 million? Because the biggest takeaway for me was that 100 million in the fleet, if you think about the software opportunities possible on Tesla, if you talk about FSD being solved by then, or FSD, let's say not even FSD, but let's say there was a software pack. Let's assume FSD wasn't solved. Let's just say for argument's sake. And let's say Tesla still had a package for $150 a month that gave XYZ features that had a 15% take rate in the fleet. Like, those are astronomical numbers that we're talking about still, right? Like, when you have 100 million of something in a fleet, and granted, yes, there's gonna, just because Tesla's built 100 million by then doesn't mean there's 100 million in the fleet. There's gonna be accidents, cars that are never used, blah, 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 and cars that have bought an FSD. I get that. So, discount this by, let's say, 15, 20% even. But that's a huge 80 million cars in the fleet that essentially you could sell something on a subscription software base-wise. Yeah. But let's not forget it. Like, 50% growth rate until 2026, 30%, let's say, in perpetuity until 2032. These are not easy numbers to hit by any means. I see Hadouken says you're going to need a lot of batteries. Exactly. So we'll see. And maybe says a 6 million ramp up 2 years from now. That's a challenge. Yes. So Tesla, or Elon says that they're hoping to be at a 2 million run rate by the end of the year. That's about what, 160, 170? Let me just do this per month. 166, 666. Yeah. So let's call it 170 run rate per month. So yeah. It only makes sense. That, by the way, that 2 million comment it should be expected. If Tesla wants to hit a 50% growth rate, for Tesla not to be at a 2 million run rate by the end of this year, yes. I mean, look, if Tesla just stagnates after that 2 million run rate, they could come close to their 50% growth rate already. But you'd hope towards the end of 2023 anyways, they'd hit that next, let's say, like 3.2 million. What's that in terms of a run rate? 3.2 million. That's about 270,000 cars a month. 3.2 million. So by the end of 2023, Tesla, to hit their 50% growth rate, would have to be at that much of a, what was it? At a 270,000 run rate per month by the end of 2023 to hit their next year's goal, and then so on and so forth, obviously. I mean, if anyone can do it, it's Tesla. That's my opinion of it. 850, 867 sitting on Tesla. Will says, takeaway, Tesla is thinking past 2030. Buybacks, is that Tesla seeing profits overfunding the growth needed? That's phenomenal. I think Tesla's seeing that, like, they're so efficient with CapEx, R&D, that at this point, it's not so much about the unknowns of their technology as much as it is because Panasonic, LG Chem, Cattle, they can provide batteries as well. I think the biggest thing that they're looking at is like any force majeure, and reading in between the line or listening in between the lines, if you want to say, of Elon talking yesterday, it almost seems like that. And by the way, Elon on the Nilk podcast, Full Send podcast yesterday, was talking about China and Taiwan as something like a force majeure that they look at as something like, oh, like we want to make sure nothing happens there. If something happens there, that's massive, right? So the sell-off today, I think, is mostly trading. Traders exiting their positions that they've been buying for the last couple weeks. Albeit, it is kind of extended. 7.25%. Volume, 34 million so far. NASDAQ's only down 1.1%. So, it is extended. But again, I did the math on this. If you look at the last 17 trading days, Tesla is still up about 27%, including today's 7% down move. So I kind of look at it at more of a larger time scale than that. Can you do the math on the U.S. rebates for Tesla over the next decade? You mean the math of like what Tesla would make? I'm not even sure most of Tesla, like not even only one, the Model 3 would qualify. And does the Model Y even qualify? It's 80K Canadian. I'm not even sure what the sticker price is down in the States. The Model Y does for the 7500. Okay. The extended one. Okay. I don't think Tesla's going to be a huge beneficiary of this credit. I know they're going to sell a lot more Model 3s, but I don't think they're going to be a huge benefit. Like, I think Tesla's, and because the credits really affect the demand side, right? Tesla just has to increase supply. And to be honest, I in the foreseeable future, I just don't see a time at this moment where Tesla makes a car that they don't have a buyer lined up for already, even with Berlin and Austin coming online. So I don't look at it too much of an equation for Tesla right now. I look at it as really something that can prop up legacy auto. And yeah, I hate the whole hybrid thing. And like Michael says, it's a bailout for hybrids. The whole 7 kilowatt hour battery pack, or kilowatt battery. Yeah, that one sucks. David says Tesla economist Lee is suggesting $1 trillion to Tesla from government rebates in the next decade. I'm gonna have to watch his video on that. Do I worry about Tesla or China and Taiwan? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think anyone wants to see. I don't think anyone wants to see something escalate again. Like we were talking on Discord, like geopolitical wise, 2022 has just been crazy. Like there's so much has happened. I thought 2016 was nuts with like North Korea talking about all their nukes and like everything happening around that, and I was like, whoa. It's just 2022 has just been sad geopolitical wise. No videos in the comments. Okay, gotcha. A trillion government rebates though. I mean, that would be that would be quite a bit. I don't even know my calculator on my screen would fit that many. A trillion. So it's a billion multiplied by 1,000 divided by 7,500. Let's say that would be 133 million cars getting a rebate. I don't know where that math. Maybe obviously that's I'm not talking about solar and storage as well. All right, 866 sitting on Tesla here. We're bouncing a little bit towards close, not a lot. This is like that meme of that guy that's on the staircase of like trophies, and he's on the bottom. He's like the most happiest out of everyone. 866. 866 sitting on Tesla at the moment. I'm gonna try to find that guy. Let's see here. Next week, so I mean we'll find out. Let's hold on. Let me open up Traditix and let's see what Traditix is telling us for options order flow here. Traditix is awesome to get markets flow sentiment towards close. That's what we're gonna do here. I'm just gonna pull it up. Let's look at everything in the next 30 days. Let's pull up that graph here. 865 sitting on Tesla. Oh yeah, we got to play our closing price guessing game. You guys are right. Thanks for reminding me. All right, let's play. It's time. Let's play our Tesla closing price guessing game. Throw in the chat your best guess for what Tesla closes at today. Remember, price is right rules, meaning you have to be at or under to win the virtual Juju prize, which I'll throw at you through the camera here. So throw your guesses in the chat. Remember, one guess per person, please. Hold on, let me just pull, where's my OBS? There it is. Okay, this is the updated net flow for Tesla. We are seeing call selling into close here. So next week, no real bullish flow to talk about for next week. This is the next 30 days worth of options. I'm just going to change this in towards next week's option expiration, see if that pulls anything different, but not looking super bullish going towards next week here. I'll pull up the market as well, by the way. I think that's a good thing to look at. Not just Tesla, but how's the market order flow looking? Open link. Okay, this is, by the way, the Tesla's option order flow for the next 7 days only, not the next 30 days. It's kind of a nothing burger event here. And then market order flow, if you look at, is somewhat positive, but mostly a nothing burger here. The way to read this is the bottom sub graph right there. So take that with what you want. 865 cent on Tesla. Okay, a lot of guesses coming in here. Some wild. I will say a solid dollar. Shark, smart strategy though. I think there's been a week where someone could have won with a dollar bet because we just fell dramatically. So we'll see. We'll see. Harry says first negative week in 3 weeks coming up. Is that right? Let me just pull up the weekly graph on my Webull. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I mean, week of July 15th was also red, but yeah, you know what I was hoping for that obviously we didn't get was a close above the 200-day moving average. That was what I was really looking for. Even when we were at 940 the other day, all I was thinking about was if we can close above the 200-day moving average to close the week, that would be very bullish. The 200-week moving average currently sits at 910. So, barring a huge move here in the next 10 minutes, I don't see that's happening. So, we'll see. Closing above, what is this? The 9 moving average as well would be decent. The 9 moving average currently sits at 872. So closing above that at least would theoretically keep our bull trend intact. You don't want to lose the 9-day. So we'll see. It's a typical kind of sell the news week, it seems like. 867 sitting on Tesla. We are rallying a little bit here. Thanks for subscribing, Ramu. Appreciate that. By the way, if you're enjoying the content and you're doing nothing and you see the subscribe button, please hit it. It doesn't cost anything. Let's see here. Split date will be announced next week. S&P debt back at all-time highs end of month. That would be a crazy month. If we ended August at all-time highs, I'll give you all the credit for that. How much would we have to rally, by the way? Let's just do some fun math for a second while we're here. How much would we have to rally for us to hit all-time highs from here? Let's just do some math. So let's see here. Hold on, let's just do so 12. Let's just do so 1243 is our 52-week high. So we would have to rally 1245. Let's say we would have to rally another 42%, 43%. 43% is where we'd have to rally from at this moment for us to hit all-time highs. That'd be quite the month. I mean, I guess it kind of happened in the last couple of weeks, but Lars is 35. Maybe my math's a little bit long. I'm just using the trend line. But Austin says, when did July numbers come out? I think the 10th or 11th of the month. 10th or 11th of the month. Okay, I'm closing guesses now. Closing the next 30 seconds. If you haven't guessed already, throw your guess in. And I'm just going to throw in a now in the chat here. Okay, I'm ending it now. 3, 2, ending it. Okay, there we go. Because I think a couple weeks ago, someone won the Juju Prize. A bunch of people came in right after me. Okay, we'll end it. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, we'll play it by ear. We'll play it by ear. I guess people are just streaming at different times throughout the video. Thank you, Jan, for the 50 Swedish krone for your Juju cost. Thank you, my friend. Slice of Juju to you for that. All right, 862.33 sitting on Tesla. Let's pull up. What is CNBC talking about? A whole lot of nothing. Let's pull this up. There we go. By the way, if you're more interested in the back of the napkin math here and kind of what goes into 2025 price target and all that sort of stuff, I have a video out on Tesla valuation that you can check out. Saw some comments about that. So let's look at the options live flow as we go through here. They don't talk about it much. Okay, let's pull up Tesla flow here. We don't have any split date yet. Thanks, Brian. Hope all is well. Well, look, I mean, Gary Black's just throwing out his guess. We don't know exactly when the split date will be. He could very well be right about when the date is. But until we hear from the 8K, it's not official yet. And the reason why I like to say that I like to harp on that point a little bit too much, that it's not official, is because I'd hate to see anyone start buying lottos or buying, let's say, options for an expiration date, assuming that the split is going to happen on that day when it might be a week later or a week after that. So just wait until the 8K comes out. That's essentially what we have to kind of do here. It could be a long time. There's some discussions on Twitter saying, oh, it could be, up to 2 months away. I don't foresee it being that long, but yeah. True, Gary Black made that clear. Okay, good. Okay, options order flow for Tesla. I'll keep an eye out here. All I'm going to really care for is short-term expiration stuff. And you can see it's pretty much all put side stuff coming in at the moment. So I'll keep an eye on that if anything major comes through here. 864 sitting on Tesla. Let's pull up the 1 minute. The NASDAQ actually is rallying a little bit to close here. Just under 1% down for the day. So we'll keep an eye on that. Do you think Tesla won't lower prices now because of the EV tax credit? I don't know, Brian. I think the EV tax credit. Okay, Elon is on record saying he hates the fact how expensive. He hates how expensive Teslas have gotten. He hates it. He said it's embarrassingly high right now. If he's saying that and EV tax credits come up, could there be a way? Like if Tesla does nothing at the moment, their Model 3 would qualify, let's say, for the $7,500 credit. Well, all of a sudden they have $7,500 more of margin. Does Elon say, look, I'm already embarrassed with how high prices are. Can we decrease the cost by $3,000, $4,000, and then all of a sudden it's a little bit more affordable? But then also people get a little, $11,000, $12,000 worth of EV, because if commodity prices are coming down, that's kind of the way to look at it. But the problem is, I do not think Tesla can possibly lower prices without causing a huge controversy. Think about if you're locked into pricing on a Tesla Model 3 at the moment at $50K, and then Tesla lowers it to $45K. You're going to be pissed. You're going to cancel. It's going to lead to a huge amount of cancellations. Someone last week just bought it for $50K. They're going to be pissed. I just don't know how Tesla maneuver. It's kind of like a ratcheting up. You can ratchet up, but it gets locked down. That's the problem. So though I can see a world where it makes sense for Tesla to lower prices, I don't see how they do that without causing a huge controversy. That's my guess. Mario says, what's worse, high price or 1 to 2 year wait? Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think both suck. And the reason why I say both suck is because I talk with people all day that want to buy electric cars. Even last night I was out with dinner with a friend, and he's like, I want to buy a Tesla, but they've just gotten so expensive now. And they don't even qualify for the $9,000 EV rebate we get in Canada here anymore. So I don't know. Stefano says Tesla can offer free FSD to old prices. Agreed. Now this is the thing. It's going to take something creative like that for Tesla to maneuver this properly. But the point here is that Tesla can maneuver it if they wanted, because they do have software. They do have a software advantage. Like maybe if Tesla says, look, we're going to lower prices by $4,000. But if you bought a Tesla in the last 6 months and you're pissed now at us, we're going to give you 10,000 free kilometers of supercharging. Or we're going to give you a free wall. Okay, no, probably not something physical because of supply chains. Something software-wise. We're going to give you free FSD for a year. Tesla can do stuff like that. Or we're going to give you an option. You can either choose 10,000 free kilometers of supercharging, or you can choose FSD for 6 months. Very different price points on those, by the way. But they can do a lot of things. They can maneuver this pretty well if they wanted, and they will if they have to be creative. But yeah, I think people would be pissed, man. Like, if anyone here in the chat bought a Tesla in the last 3 months, what would you do if Tesla just lowered the price by $4,000 tomorrow? And I get it, by the way. By the way, this happens every single day at dealerships. Like, I could buy the same car as Sally on the same day, talk to a different sales rep, and because Sally is trying to hit her sales quota, Sally's rep is trying to hit her sales quota, Sally could get a $2,000 discount past what I got. That happens every day at a dealership. Let's not act like this doesn't happen for every single company in the world. But yeah, sometimes says I'd be cheesed. Yeah. Oh yeah, like Brian says that he just bought. Yeah, exactly. You just bought one. So yeah, software is an easy way to grab more customers without lowering prices. Exactly. So yeah, Marcus says so many levers to pull, but prices not going down for the existing products. Yeah. Although I think Elon will want to do anything to lower prices. Okay, we got 15 seconds left till close here. Let's see where we go. 864.44. I did not throw a guess out today, so there's no way I can win this week. By the way, it's funny. I actually did win the virtual Juju prize in our Discord the other day. All right. We are officially closed. 864.51 for Tesla. Let me just pull up my... where's my live streaming setup here? Hold on. Oh, it's right here. All right. 864.51 sitting on Tesla. Not the best way to close the week, but it is what it is. Let's see who's won. Let's see who has won here. Okay, maybe you guessed 864.22. Maybe you came pretty close. Paco guessed 864. Robbie guessed 864.69. A little bit over here. Oh, retired bit juggler guessed 864.50. I think that might be our winner unless someone's guessed it on the dot here. Yep. All right, Price is Right rules. Our winner actually is retired bit juggler. Congrats to you, my friend, the juggler friend. You have won. You were 1 penny off of the actual close price. Hadouken beat me to it again. Hadouken's fast. I don't know how you do that. Shout out to you. Yeah, so, you know, the prices stuff, like we can talk. And by the way, I'm going to stick around. If you can, feel free to stick around for the next couple minutes. I'm just going to wait 4 or 5 minutes in case we get our 8K. Do you guys think, is it worth waiting here? Or should I just sign off for the Friday? Because we might get our split announcement after hours here. That's the only thing I don't want to miss. It feels like every Friday I do something, there's something that comes out after hours. Something happened last month too. I don't even remember. I'm thinking you might as well wait. I'll wait 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Sounds good. Let's do that. Maybe you were close. We'll see. So 6%, 6.6% down for the day. Remember, since July 13th, in the last 17 trading days, we are still up 27%. So for context, July 13th, let's pull up on the NASDAQ. July 13th on the NASDAQ to today, the NASDAQ is up 13%. So all I see today is a normalizing in the last 2.5 weeks, really. That's all I kind of see. If the NASDAQ is up 13%, 14%, and Tesla's up times 2 of that since the last 17 days, even though we had a 6.6% down day today, for the most part, it just seems like that is kind of in line there. VIX is actually down. VIX has actually come down quite a bit. VIX is close to under $20 again for the first time in since April almost. You know what that means? Another big geopolitical controversy coming. We'll see. We'll see. The board, Eddie says the board doesn't meet on Friday until Friday, August the 9th at the earliest. Okay, well, thanks for that insight, Eddie, if that's true. The board could have pre-approved it. Like, the board could have said, you know, assuming Tesla authorized share count price authorized share count passes at the AGM, we're going to split the following day. Like, they could have pre-approved that as well. So I guess we'll see. But, you know, Friday's not that far away anyways, right? But Tesla has 4 days to file their 8K. Thanks for subscribing, P. Hill, Uncle T. Let me read out some subscribers here. Martin, Ramu, Roy Quill, Adriano, Andreas, Dizung, Sylvia. Appreciate you guys subscribing. Thank you. Steve Cool said I should use Google Forms. I agree. I should use Google Forms next time. The NASDAQ, yeah. Well, the NASDAQs are QQQ. That's the NASDAQ. The tech index. Let's see here. The volume today was actually, it ended up being decent. It was lighter in the morning. It ended up being 37 million shares traded today. 37 million shares traded today. So, not bad. Not bad. I paid for the performance to lift delivery from June to March. Interesting, Gary. Kevin says Tesla's cut prices many times. P100D used to be 165K, then price went to 110K. So few follow closely to know prices change. 165K to 100K, 110K? You know what's really confusing for me sometimes? You're going to have to forgive me, is like the US Canadian exchange. Like, every time I think about prices, I think Canadian dollars, and then I have to like do some currency exchange. So it's almost like I have to remember 4 sets of numbers for a change. The Model 3 performance is 84,000 Canadian dollars. Let's change this to American dollars for a second. Let's see. So Model 3 performance is 56. That sounds so much better. Right? That sounds so much better when you say 57,000 for the, and the Model 3 40,000. Like when you say 40K, like that just sounds so much different. Adam, that's hilarious. But I mean, check this out. Canadian dollars wise, which I know no one really cares about other than me. But look at Canadian dollars wise. The Model Y, the cheapest Model Y you can get in Canada is 87K. 87K now. That's crazy high now. Like this has gone up, I think gone up probably the most, other than maybe the X. The X here is, let's look at the Plaid. The Plaid is 185K, 186K. Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at Canadian prices, you're just like, holy crap. So, and by the way, like, let me just pull up the Model 3 here. So the Model 3, this is, wait, what? Is it really 62? Okay, for context, the Model 3 Standard Range Plus, now just called the rear wheel drive, is 62K. 62K. I bought it December 2020. Yes, I know it's been a while now, but still not that long in the grand scheme of things. December 2020 for 50. Back then it used to retail for 52. 10,000. So about a 20% increase in prices in the year and a half. Maybe almost a little bit over a year and a half. A 20% increase. That's massive. And by the way, like if a 20% increase happened for the S and the X, I wouldn't care so much because we talk about price elasticity. The people that are buying the X and the S, don't take this the wrong way. The people that are buying the S and the X, they're not buying it because it's the cheapest car or the cheapest EV. The people that are buying the standard range Model 3 are usually entry level electric vehicle buyers that are looking to save money. You know, it's a different demographic, whether we want to agree or not. It's a different demographic. But 62K now for the Model 3. But yes, this is Canadian dollars before anyone gets their panties in a wad. Yes, this is Canadian dollars. But still, a 20% increase in Canada for the Model 3 in the last year and a half. Yeah, I mean, yes, interest rates, inflation for sure. And by the way, that's the crazy part of this is like, you pay 62 now, and you still might be waiting until the end of this year to get your car, right? You know, back when we ordered in like first couple of days of December, and we had it by Christmas, right? So, yeah, I mean, and by the way, this potential savings tab, I don't really know anyone that like looks at this potential savings tab as something, to be quite honest. Everyone looks at the purchase price for better or for worse. I know it's there. Makes sense. Brian, interest rate is 4.99. That's quite high, but I mean, interest rates are much higher now. Our interest rate was substantially lower than that, but again, it's been a year and a half since then. Dean says car has appreciated as much as the stock has in the same time. What was Tesla? What was Tesla trading at? December 2020. Let's see. I don't actually remember. December, we placed our order, let's say first week of December. So Tesla was trading at $640. 600, and so 864 minus, let's say 650, $214 on 650. Actually, yeah, the stock's been up about 30%. The car's been up about 20%. So, yeah, 5% is quite high. But I mean, the grand scheme is like your car loan principal wise is not like anything close to your mortgage. So, and the thing with car loans is you can always pay them off early, without penalty usually. So at least in Canada you can. 861 sitting after hours here. You guys know I'm waiting here for any potential split news, but I'm not sure if we're gonna get it. To be quite, you know what the surefire way of getting split news after hours is? Throw in the chat if you catch my drift here. The way that we know 100% we're gonna get split news is if I sign off. The minute I sign off, we're gonna get some sort of 8K filing. Yeah, exactly. Hang on. I swear I've done that so many times. So maybe I'll have to do that for everyone. Seriously. Oh yeah, seriously, honestly. All right. Let's hold on, let me pull up see what else we got. Should I go through my back of the napkin Tesla math? I haven't updated this in quite a while. let's update this live while we potentially wait for any sort of split news here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like Friday, it's probably nice where you are. It's summertime. You guys could be anywhere. You guys are talking Tesla with me after hours. I appreciate that. Hit subscribe if you're new. And I appreciate you. Okay, so let's update this. So 2025, with a 50% growth rate per annum, Tesla's about at 4.738 million cars in 2025. Let's bring this over until 2025. Let's bring this number over here. Okay. Don't worry, I'll scroll down and hold on. I'll move my fat head this way. Okay. So 2025, 4.738 million cars. Now the revenue is essentially that number multiplied by my ASP. ASP is sitting at B5, and that is over here. Actually, I'm trying to zoom out here 1 second. I have my ASP sitting at 55K. I know it's a little bit high, but 2025, I think Tesla will have higher, like the Roadster maybe, and we're talking about the Plaids being more popular. The ASP is already above 50K. So there's that. So anyways, 55K. Someone's saying the stream ended. No, I think I'm still online. Hopefully. Okay. So revenue 2025 projected 260 billion. Profit. Now we talk about margin. I have 25%. You can lower this to 20%. Don't care. Whatever EBITDA you want to throw on this. Let's do 20%. And at that point, the PE I'm projected there is 40. The reason I've projected a PE of 40 there is because if you want a peg of 1, I don't know why it says 80 here. Hold on. Or it says 0.8 is what it should say. Hold on. Let's do absolute numbers here. Format, not as currency, as numbers. There we go. Divided by 1,000. Okay, well, hold on, let me just fix my peg. Okay, so if you look at EPS growth rate from 2025 out, and you want to look at what that could potentially be, PE, you could throw a PE of 50 even at that point and say, oh, Tesla's going to continue to grow at 50% growth per annum. But if you're being a little bit more conservative, you throw a 40 PE, which I know, I mean, at that point, Tesla's going to have different revenue streams other than just cars. But let's say we throw in a 40 PE at that point, peg under 1, assuming a 50% growth in EPS from there on out. We get to about $52 billion worth of profit. And again, this is just the auto business. Market cap of, and again, market cap is calculation of profit multiplied by PE. Market cap of 2.08 trillion. 2025 EPS of 47 bucks. 10-year yield being 3%. Maybe that's going to be higher than, I don't know, 4%. Let's just leave it at 3. Might keep my calculations easy. And I gotta move my head again. Risk factor of 8%, adding together for a discount rate of 11. You can discount this 4 years back at that rate. Shares outstanding 1.1 billion. Again, this could be higher. Let's say 1.3 for dilutive purposes. You can do whatever you want to get to the auto business valuation of over 1,000. And again, we could project a lot of different ways. Let's say we change our EBITDA to 25%, and let's say outstanding share count is actually a lot lower than we expected because Tesla does buybacks by then. Well, then you can get to whatever price that you're looking at for a 2022 price target there. And again, this is just for the auto business. Just for the auto business. Thank you, Marco. Missed that out. 8K's out? Someone lying to me? Is the 8K out? I don't know. Hold on. Let me just pull it up. Tesla IR. Hold on. Sorry. Tesla SEC filings. It's out. No, that's 100% cap. I'm going to go on Twitter. Hold on. You guys are pulling my leg. I know it. Oh, guys, I waited for something and it actually happened. Can you believe that? Thanks for all the people sticking up with this stream the whole time. Okay, Tesla to start trading, begin on stock split basis on August 25th. Boom. There you go, folks. It is out officially. Okay, so let's see. Did we get a notification from Tesla, or who did we get a notification from? Tesla. Let's see what top news source is putting this out today. Gary said, well, hold on. Yeah, worth waiting. I don't want to say I told you so, but I wasn't right. So, okay, let's pull up Gary's. I don't see anything with Gary's. Okay, who has it out? I don't see the SEC filing in here. Oh, I see it. Okay, I see it. Okay. We got it. All right, folks. The only person live on YouTube probably right now talking Tesla, and you're here. 603 people watching. Shout out to you guys. Okay. Split. Let's just search for what we care about. On August 5th, Tesla issued a press release announcing that the board of directors has declared a 3-to-1 stock split for Tesla common stock for form of dividend. Let's just see where the split. Where do I see it? Where's the press? Hold on. Maybe it's in the press release here. Okay, I found it. It's kind of hidden here. We got it. All right. Hey, by the way, hit subscribe if you guys are still somehow watching this stream. We just got live breaking news about Tesla splitting. Okay, so let's read this press release, shall we? Tesla stock announces stock split. I'm just going to change the title of this stream because I think it probably makes sense to. Okay, let's do it. Tesla has announced today that the board of directors have approved and declared a 3-to-1 stock split of common stock in the form of stock dividend to make stock ownership more accessible for employees and investors. How many times have we said this? It's for the employees. Each stockholder on record on the 17th of August will receive a dividend of 2 additional shares for each then held share to be distributed close of trading on August 24th. Trading will begin on a stock split adjusted basis on Monday, August 25th. Oh, sorry, Thursday, August 25th. It's not a Monday. That is weird. Okay, it's totally off on that. Okay, so Thursday, August 25th. Thursday, August 25th. And then just a bunch of disclaimers after. Okay, we got our news. So if anyone's confused, don't be. All of these dates about effective, if you don't own shares, will you not receive? Don't worry. If you own shares at any point in this time, you'll get your 3-to-1 split. A lot of this is for book divvying up between brokers. Like if the effective date is the 17th of August, it's not like if you bought Tesla on the 18th, you're not going to get your additional shares. It's mostly for the broker's accounting. So don't worry about that too much. How's the stock doing after hours? I'll pull this up. Let's take a look at our Tesla ticker. But the main number to look at, and Tesla is pretty much flat after hours right now. Pretty much the Thursday, August 25th date is the one to look at. That's the day that you'll wake up in the morning and everything will be wonky in your account because you'll all of a sudden look like you own 3 times more shares than you do, or options contracts. And by the way, I get a lot of questions about, okay, what happens with options? If you own any contract, it's the same thing. Let's say if you owned, let's go into something for January. If you owned 1,000 strike call for January, right? If you owned, we just turned green after hours. Yep. If you owned 1,000 strike, you would now own 3 contracts of $333.30 something strike. That's essentially what's going to happen. It's going to get split in 3, and then you're going to own more contracts. So if you have a leap that you're holding that's quite heavy on you in terms of capital allocation, you might be able to scale 1/3 of it off or 2/3 of it off at this point. 3 times as rich. Yes, exactly. Hadouken says, what's the difference between a stock split versus stock split via dividend? There's no difference. Almost every stock split is via dividend. It's just the way that they word it, right? It's the same thing with last split. Essentially, dividend is something that you're receiving for doing nothing, right? And the way to look at the split is you own a piece of pie, you're going to get 2 more pieces of pie, but they're all going to decrease 3 times in size. So it's just cut up is the way to look at it. Yeah, but don't look at dividend. Don't look at it too much in terms of anything. I just got the email with the 8K, so it was a little bit delayed, but thanks for informing me, guys. So after hours, Tesla is green after hours, but we're 15 basis points is kind of a nothing burger event at the moment. So let's look at calendar time. So if this is splitting on Thursday, August 25th, tomorrow or next trading day is August 8th. That gives us 2.5 full weeks of trading. I reckon momentum kicks in not next week, but the following week. Because if we look at Amazon, right? Let's pull up Amazon for a second. What Amazon did was, let me see, where's the stock split? Right there. So if you look at Amazon and the run up it had, the stock split was right here for Amazon. It was on June the 6th. Amazon really didn't start running up until, let's see how many trading days before. Until 8 trading days before. And it ran up 26% almost in 8 trading days. Amazon did. And so maybe there's more momentum, maybe there's less momentum in Tesla given the run-up it's already had. Amazon had sold off at that point. But Amazon, it was in the last 8 trading days before the stock split happened that Amazon, and I think there was a vote somewhere in here as well that happened that it's not highlighting it, I don't know. But 8 trading days before. So if we're being generous, and we're saying Thursday, August 25th, let's say the 15th of August is kind of where I'm looking at momentum kicking in. Next week, maybe we see some preliminary momentum, but it's really the week following, I think, is the week to look at. After hours, we're a little bit green, but mostly a nothing burger. Jay Lizard says, thanks for being here with us. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was streaming, didn't want to go off. It is what it is. And for once in my streaming career, I actually caught some news live that I didn't sign off on. Retire says Q3 delivery numbers date also. What is Q3? Well, Q3 delivery number wouldn't be until, hold on, September. So it'd be August. It'd be like the first week of August. All these spam bots. Rolex says if CPI doesn't come in hot next week, it will rip the rest of the market. Yeah, that's definitely one. That's definitely one to look for. Michael says once in a lifetime you made it, Yash. Yeah, I know. Anthony says well played. I'm not signing off. Yes. I'm talking about Q3 delivery in October. We've talked about Q3 delivery numbers, right? So Tesla reporting what it delivered in Q3. That's not happening in October until October, right? July, August, September. But the stock split, yes. The stock split, if we don't want to confuse anyone, the stock split, yes, is happening August 25th, so Thursday. Do you have a plan on taking any position for the upcoming split? Yeah, that's a good question. The way I look at this right now, I am tempted, but I was always going to wait until the date got announced. But I'm almost feeling like the way to play the split, like, okay, I have a couple of things. I feel a little bit greedy thinking, okay, well, I feel the greed come in. Like, okay, how do I play this split on the upside? Which dates can you buy shorter term options or let's say even leaps on? But the real thing, not that I worry about, but like I think about as a risk trading wise for the split, is that after the stock splits on August 25th and it starts trading on a split adjusted, that end of the week, that Thursday, Friday, is going to be, I just have a hunch it's going to be weak. There's going to be a lot of people selling off a percentage of their holdings or a smaller percentage of their holdings that, once wasn't divisible very much, or leaps that they had that are now divisible in 3. And what history has shown us with splits is after it splits, we do see some weakness. Actually, let's look at Amazon split and let's see how it performed after the split happened on Amazon. So Amazon split June the 6th. And look at that. So Amazon rallied up 27% and then essentially fell pretty much to the same price, 21% down after the split. So I almost feel like waiting until like longer term stuff doesn't matter, I guess, because you have time on your side. I almost feel like waiting until after the split happens, let's say end of the month, going into September, that might be another time to accumulate. How about Apple? Well, Apple, the last time Apple split was when Tesla split. Hold on. Pull up Apple split. Yeah, last time Apple split was when Tesla split. And yes, look, I know macro-wise, different macro environment, but this is August 2020. You guys remember the split? So Apple split, Tesla split that week together. And then look at the market fell after that. But just, I'm just a little bit cautious. I'm just a little bit cautious with split dates. So though I want to play, maybe I'll play, every person wants to play the upside on a split. So I guess we'll see. Tell me your guys' thoughts. What are your thoughts on playing the split? Let's have a discussion about it. The 8K is out. Yes, indeed. If you haven't watched me going through the 8K with Tesla stock split announcing date, rewind maybe 4 or 5 minutes and you'll see me going through. It's August 25th. I just changed the title of this stream. Ryan says, imagine what the news would be once you sign off. Yeah, honestly. BD says, I agree with you waiting a bit. I think it'll be cheaper. Yeah, it's not even about timing it. I just feel like by then, okay, forget about the split even for a second. By end of month, we'll have an idea on inflation a lot more. I guess we'll have an idea on inflation next week as well. But yeah, Chris, thank you for the super chat, my friend.
On the stock split, let's go.
Thank you, Chris. Shout out to you for the super chat, my friend. Yeah, it was totally worth sticking around for after close. I've been on live now for an hour and a half. I don't regret it a bit. Marcus says, I have a feeling the split will be a nothing burger. Potentially. I think having expectations of last stock split with Tesla in 2020 and setting those expectations this time is not healthy. For a couple of reasons. One, different macro environment altogether. Back then it was like, where is momentum and where can money just chase money, right? Number two is also Tesla's ran 26%, 27% in the last 17 trading days. So taking that into account. There's never a nothing burger with Tesla. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, so look, next week, who knows what happens? The order flow for Tesla, by the way, was not very hot. So I don't think the market cares too much for next week. Let me just pull up next week's option order flow for Tesla, and let's see what they had going on right until we closed. But I don't see really how this is going to change the game very much going into next week. But I think the week of the 15th is my guess. The first full week of the last full week of trading before the split, because the split happens on a Thursday. That's the one to look at. And as you can see here, really, we just had kind of a nothing burger until close here. Oh, actually, you can't see here. Let me move my head. Options order flow was just kind of nowhere right at close. So, and actually, we saw some put buying right until close, highlighted by that red line spiking up right at the end. So, yeah, order flow is not looking very hot, like market-wise even. Yeah, so we shall see. But hey, it's not a bad thing. Look, like I think split. Someone said this, I think the best way in my live stream last week. They said investment grade split. These could have a huge effect on Tesla or nothing, but at least they're not negative. the effect, right? So there's that. We'll see. If someone mentions the Twitter overhang, I don't know. I'm just gonna. Tesla is right on line with macro. Like, let's not forget it. I went through the math of it. Tesla's up 27% in the last 17 trading days. NASDAQ is up half as much. So right in line, even with today's downfall or a down move of 6.6%, Tesla is still right in line with kind of where it's expected in the last couple of weeks here. Yeah. Honestly, I can't wait until quarter four. Q4 is going to be the big one. Middle class says, what's your day job? I work online. I'm an entrepreneur, but I guess day job, if you want to say real estate, I'm a realtor here in Vancouver. All right. Much love, everyone, for tuning in, sticking around with me until 1:30. Holy crap. I didn't even realize it's been half an hour here. But I appreciate you guys staying in late with me on a live stream, as I say every Friday. Hide your phones. Hide your technology for the weekend. Spend some time off. Go in nature. Spend time with family. Recharge, reset. Not everything's about our portfolios. Apparently, everything is about these goddamn spam bots that we're seeing here. Thanks, mods, by the way, for helping with me fighting these freaking bots here. But I appreciate all you guys tuning in on another awesome Friday close, albeit red one to end the week. But hey, it's not like we have much say on what's going to happen with the market, right? Much love. Great week overall with the shareholder meeting and everything else. Before you sign off, remember to hit subscribe if you haven't already. And again, shout out to all Patreon members, channel members, anyone that you see here that supports the channel, even by hitting subscribe or commenting. I appreciate you guys. I see you guys. I recognize you guys all the time. So can't give you thanks enough. If you want to continue the conversation, I'll be heading into Discord right after this. And we'll be continuing the conversation with our awesome Juju gang in thereafter. $5 a month gets you in on Patreon. And yes, anything else I'm missing? No. I appreciate it. Timing worked out today with the 8K coming out half an hour after. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Much love, everyone. Take care. Yasha signing off. And catch you in the next one. Peace.